I'm working on this frog. I am trying to find the best angle for this, though. Excuse me, I guess that's probably fine. I don't know. You know, what's the best angle? I don't know. Good enough, as far as I'm concerned. Grab some brushes here. I need a bigger flat, not too big, but not super small either. And then there we go. A smaller flat as well. And I'll get some Galkid. Pretty much all I'm planning to do here is just take the get this background filled in, and then I'll make maybe a few more choices about some lighting stuff. But this guy's about finished. Oh. And goodness, gonna go with some Payne's Gray. I'm mixing it up with, sorry, this is oil, I guess I should maybe mention that. This is an oil painting, started a while back. Now I'm adding some Galkid to this Payne's Gray to make sure that it dries pretty quickly. So hopefully be dry by tomorrow. I'm gonna go right up to the edges here. I do like to do illustrations and paintings that don't always cover the whole canvas with paint. But this one's pretty small, so we'll just get the top first. The bottom down here, I'll do is sort of in this earth tone that I've got, which I believe is some sort of mixture of either raw or burnt sienna, but I'll look in a minute. One of these days what I'll do is I'll actually do my large areas of flat color first and then paint my subject over top, because like that'd be maybe slightly less tedious than this process that I'm going through right now. Although I don't know, it's probably it all equals out in some way in the end, right? Am I right? Excuse me. Again, in case anyone didn't know, the whole point of this channel is to get a man in his early 40s just clearing his throat a ton. I assumed that was the hottest market. I mean, honestly, it is an allergy / pollen situation, I think. But I'll never know, because I'm not going to go to the doctor for that. Cleared my throat 3 times. Well, 3 times. 300 times in a minute. Probably an unrealistic estimate. Okay, put that brush down. So I needed a smaller brush so I can get into these tighter spaces. And if I get some oil on part of a shape that I wanted to maintain, I can always just come back, fix it later. The frog's eye on the back side there. Probably that. Can let sort of just blend into the this background. And this is just, you know, like maybe a blade of grass back here, but I'm not sure it even makes sense the way it's there. So I may end up just painting over it completely. I'm definitely gonna need some more. Like the Gal Kid is it's serving two purposes for me. It's like also, it's not just making it so that the paint dries faster. It's also making it so that I can push it around the canvas a little easier. But already the colors, the highlights are, to my eye, improved over where they were with just the white of the canvas there. I'm gonna have to do at least one more flower this week, and I don't know, I may do it in oil, just to get a little bit more practice. Because you gotta get your miles in. 10,000 hours to build a skill. That's what some person said about something once. So I'm sure it's true. That's probably sounded cynical. I'm actually a pretty big believer in that that concept of, you know, 10,000 hours. I think is it might be just kind of like an arbitrary number, or maybe not arbitrary, but a number that is I feel like the purpose that number serves is just to help a person to understand of how much time it might require, and how there's, you know, you can't do 10,000 hours in one day. And to commit to something that takes that long just requires consistency, which I also believe is true. The consistency of practice, practicing a skill over many sessions is a lot more effective than inconsistent but longer sessions. So, like, you know, if you painted for, and the reason I'm talking about painting is because I am painting, but if you painted for 15 hours a day, one time a month versus 1 hour a day 15 times a month, and there's different ways to go about doing these things that could have varied results, I'm sure, but I think that the person who painted 15 times a month for shorter periods of time, each session, at the end of the month, I think that their improvement would be greater than the person who just who painted for the longer stretch just once. And this is, it's about skill building is what I'm talking about, not necessarily like making, like, who painted the quote unquote better painting, which, I guess there are ways to decide whose is better, but I don't know if any of them are objective. Aside from if you're talking about like who painted the more photorealistic image, I guess you could do that, but it's for me it isn't a competition. With anyone other than myself. Okay, so this Payne's gray, as you can see, is pretty, like, I didn't lay it down super thick, but it is already helping to separate the frog from the background and also the mushroom. But in order to improve the lighting, I'm going to leave this clean right now so that I can get in and do some shadows in here. So I'm going to use some Payne's gray in here so that this mushroom can cast a shadow onto the frog, and also so we can get the frog underneath some shadow under there as well. I'm not really sure what I imagine the light source to be, but I think that's less important than making it look visually appealing to me. Probably talking more than I want to here. I think I might just about ready to listen to some music while I'm working. I do want there to be brush strokes visible. I just prefer it. No. Touched my paint, then I touched my pants. That's not good. I thought I was wiping paint onto my smock, but I didn't. Just like a noob, I blew it. Okay, that is the mushroom, but he's trying to make sure I understand how the light would be hitting this so that it looks realistic. Realistic. It's not the word I mean. So that it looks so that it feels natural. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Natural. Okay, and it's gonna be pretty dark down there, I think. I want it to be darker next to the brightest highlights if I can, because that's going to create more visual interest. I'll start getting some this in here. I think I like the color of this mushroom mostly. Still very easily changed. Okay, this rock here, bit of a shadow cast on it. That there's got a bit of a shadow. And all this other paint, so like the frog and the mushroom, the paint on these guys is totally dry. So if I were to make some sort of mistake that I didn't care for, it would be very easy to wipe it off and just start over. So should be pretty dark right down here. Okay. What do we want from here? I think I will start. I'm gonna get this ground, the dirt, and let's look at this dirt down. I think I'll be able to get a better sense of where I'm going. Oh, excuse me. I burped. Oh my goodness, not on the stream. Okay. Yeah, felt gross. I know it was gross. Sorry, everyone. Here we go. So I'm going with burnt umber and some, if I can get it out of here. Yeah, I still have some titanium white. Some burnt umber, some titanium white, and once again the Galkid to make sure that it dries quickly. I will for sure I'm gonna have to, I don't have to, but I will choose to do some more blades of grass, probably, just because that's gonna help it'll break up the sort of monotony of the colors from the background. I gotta figure out this mushroom, some of the shapes I'm not totally sure about. This, I guess, is an illustration and not considered an illustration and not a painting. Which is kind of weird because it's all, I guess I did a charcoal preliminary and then just started painting. I didn't ink this guy. I would have liked, it would have made more sense to do this on my easel probably, because then I wouldn't be brushing right up against the I don't know what this is even called. It's like the pencil rest or something. But it's at the bottom of this desk, which this is just the desk is this was either from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I think it was from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has always had a better selection of paints and fine art stuff. So if I need a local place and I'm not ordering from Dick Blick, which is my preferred art supply place, it's usually Hobby Lobby, unless it's Sunday. And obviously, if it's Sunday, Hobby Lobby's not open. So, all right. So I'm gonna say that some light is hitting here, and some light is hitting like here. So this is all I'm really trying to do is just create a little bit more visual interest in this foreground. I don't really care that much if it's you know, like very recognizable things as much as I care that it is making it so it doesn't appear to be just like a flat flat surface. Okay. Get some more dark. Where do I want the dark? So it's like the light is coming in from this direction-ish, which means that this side of this rock over here would be dark, and then this would be darker as well, I think. I need to probably blend it a bit. Yeah. But I can add some more white here, and then we can go like this. And then we'll say that this right here, so it's darker, but it's not so dark that I can't make out the shape anymore. But this right here, I need the rock to go all the way down to the actual dirt. Okay, and then maybe right here, let's just say that. I like that. Okay. This stuff in here, I don't know. I don't really like the way that turned out, so I'm gonna try and get this shape more up to where I was imagining it. It's a little too light because I got white in there, so I'm gonna get that out and then just wipe off the white and then come back in here. So this is where it's the darkest. I may go in with just ivory black. Is that what it's called? Makes no sense. Why would it be called ivory black? Guess maybe if you just get really dirty ivory, sometimes it could be black. But you shouldn't be getting ivory anyway. That's not really the focus of this channel. But what? I don't know what this is talking about. People trying to get me to go to the dentist or something. No thanks. Okay, let me bring this down a bit. This blade of grass. You know, is this in a swamp or where is this frog? You know, that's one of the questions that I'm starting to ask myself as I work on this. Is what is this frog's? What is his deal? You know, this eye can disappear back here. That's no problem. I do think the grass back here. Just get this a little bit. Yeah, I think maybe I can just cover that up for the most part, and then actually be happier with the shapes that I've got here. And then we can see if this would definitely be a little bit darker. And so would this. I don't want it to be too dark, but I definitely want looking like he's not coming out of the shadows 100%, like he's creeping up, but this should make it. Yeah. Some orange into those shadows. Because this is oil and not watercolor, I have a lot more margin for error, so I can try stuff and then not have to switch to gouache or something, like, you know, halfway through the painting when I realize that I've run out of watercolor choices. Okay, so I do like that. I like that the eyes popping. I still don't like this situation with the blade of grass here. Bring this down. Bring that down. And then I'm going to, what do I want to do here? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going to get rid of this one too. At least for now. I could focus on the shape of this mushroom without having to dance around that little blade of grass. Okay, so froggy everywhere. His eye, I like it, but it needs a little bit more dark. Especially on this side. And through here. That is, I feel that's an improvement, I think. And then maybe just a little bit right there. I really hope no one's wondering, you know, they're going to be like, what kind of frog is this? Because the answer to that is a made-up one. It's, you know, I did start with a reference, but it, you know, quickly became just a frog with a huge eye. Okay. All right. So it looks like he's in the mud. I'm gonna get some green here to add. You know, I just erased those blades of grass, but I think I'm gonna get some green here and mix it with a bit of white. And you can also try to find a smaller, pretty small round brush. I might try to find it. I have a round brush. I'm gonna get it. I could go on a safari. Let's see. I'd like to say that all my brushes are extremely organized. Or I guess I could say that my brushes are all extremely organized, but I would be lying. I don't want to lie to the people who may see this one day. I think that I'm an extremely organized person. Like, you know, my daughters, I'm sure they think I'm extremely organized because I tell them that they need to be organized. They get mad and their stuff's not where it's supposed to be. And yet, what on earth? Here's a brush with no bristles, so I'll go ahead and throw that in the trash. This guy. Here we go. A nice number 4. Nice brown number 4 brush. Of course, do I want to start doing that now, or do I want to add another layer of Payne's Gray, which I think is what I actually want to do, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to get some more Payne's Gray on here. I'm actually trying to use up this lower quality Payne's Gray that I have. It's like Master's Touch, which I think was... Master's Touch might be the... that might be the Hobby Lobby brand. I don't really remember if that's Hobby Lobby or if that's Michael's, but at one point I got some of that, and I'm not trying to say it's terrible. It's just that it is. It's not usually something that's able to do the job in a single coat, for me anyway. I think some people probably who just, you know, they're better about how much paint they put on the brush and how much they push it around, etc. So I do believe that you can do quite a bit of amazing stuff without having to spend, you know, crazy amounts of money on supplies. But certain things are just going to be a lot easier to accomplish if you use quality stuff. So if you can't get quality stuff, don't let that discourage you from trying, because sometimes when you have to make compromises with art, compromises in like the supplies or whatever it is that you choose, sometimes you can have some really cool results. But like, for instance, if you want a background that is solid, you want to have as much pigment in the paint as possible so that you don't have to spend, you don't have to do multiple coats of paint just to get your flat color down. Even that one. Yeah, I said I was finishing this, but I don't know that that's actually the... Probably shouldn't have been the title. That I'm finishing this frog. Although, you know, I may get this flat color down and then realize that what's the point of adding anything more than some nice brush strokey highlights. So I like this guy, you know? I'd like to think that he likes me. Just me and this frog. Painting the town red. There's nothing you can do about it. Not sure who I'm taunting. Probably just another version of myself. I'm sure that's who I'm taunting. Oh. Uh-oh. I'm big enough now? Maybe. Might be okay. I do like the mushroom having some bumps like this. Yeah. Looks ridiculous. That's perfect. It's a little shiny in here because of the how the paint's a little glossy at the moment, but that's okay for me. The subject of the painting, as you can see, is not really affected by that right now because it doesn't have any of this new paint on it. And I will get in here a bit. Trying to get some more shape. This mushroom. I want it to look cool, as I said before. It's not really about, does it look like a real frog? It's about, do I like looking at it? Okay, bring that through a bit, just to get into, and then we're gonna go like this, this, and this. This would be a little darker, maybe. But I don't need every single aspect of this to be perfect. I just need it to be fun to look at. And then once that's done, so backing up, looks like the frog's peering around this mushroom, just not a real mushroom. And then, he looks a little dirty. He looks like he's got some light on him. Now let's get that. I'm gonna try to get these. No, if I do that, it's gonna. There we go. Okay. Well, the paint's gray down there, which is fine. Here is, I'm gonna get this green. Oh wait, is that brown? I think I accidentally got my brown. Hold on, let's clean that off. I did squeeze out green already though, I think. This looks like it, yeah. It's a little hard to see. It's a very, the green I'm using is olive, I think is what it's called. Olive green. So a little bit of Indian yellow added to that. I think we'll brighten it up in a way that will benefit it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure what kind of grass this is, but I'm just gonna say it's like straw. No, not straw. I don't know. I really should look up, see what grows in a swamp, to be honest. I do like this Galkid. The like Galkid original, I guess, is, or is it original? Or is this Galkid Light? No, regular Galkid. It's great. It's the best. Okay. Now, of course, I'm also going to just use this as highlight stuff. I'm using this stick to avoid... Oh, that's too dark. I didn't want that to happen. So I don't touch the painting and get it and mess it up in that way. Yeah, hilariously, I was just talking about how I was going to do the grass, and now I'm over here blending the actual frog. But I mean, I really think this is the right choice. This guy is, after all, the subject, so he should be the prettiest person at the party, or else, you know, I guess if I was just trying to paint grass, you know, like I would want the grass to be the thing that the viewer remembered. But I'm painting this frog, and that's what I want people to remember, the frog. I can actually blend a little bit here, which is good, so I want to. Okay. Yeah, it's good. All right, so he's sticking out there. I'm gonna take this and get this maybe even a little bit, add a little bit more white to brighten this up. And then I'm just gonna see if I can pull up a few blades of grass using this. It's fine. That one. And it is quite literally just impressions, right? Like I'm not trying to do any detailed grass of any kind, just some nice lines, honestly. Lines with a little bit of rhythm to them, that's all. If I need to do, what is sticking to my fingers? My fingers are all sticky. I don't like it. I am hopeful that I don't get disappointed by these blades of grass, but it can happen. These ones in the back, I kind of want, I don't want anything, I think, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to leave that be, because if I get anything over there, it's going to maybe make my eye focus on that too much. And then go like, maybe one more like this one. Not ideal, but all right, as it dries, I may try to do more, but I think if I keep going here, I'm going to end up making things worse. Or maybe not making, if not making them worse, then becoming less and less happy with where it's going. All right, what do we need to do for here? This part of the eye probably needs to be a little bit brighter. This does this part. There's that. Go like so. But then I gotta blend that a bit right here, just to make sure it doesn't get too. That's too bright. Okay, so this is kind of so it's like that. Now if I back up And look at that. It's not doing what I need to do. It's I need to get this where's my brown. I'm gonna take this brown and hope that I can use it to kind of get this to sink back enough so that it looks like there's the plane change that I had previously, and I think we'll be okay here. It's a little bit too dark, so I'll clean this brush and then try and just blend it so that it doesn't get too far from where I was at before. And then probably, if I remember this correctly, get a little white. For there. It's looking both ways. Okay, and then I need, oh, where'd he go? There he is. I need his little, it's got like a little nose hole thing going on, and then probably don't need to blend that any. Just like some. That. Find a little bit of yellow to highlight some more. This right here. Nice and bright. Okay, bring that through. Maybe here. And then just like here. Yeah, all right, we're good. And I could spend 10 years on this frog disappearing around a mushroom, or I could say I'm done and move on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Anyone who checks us out, thanks a lot. Once it finishes drying, I'll take a photo of it and post it up on the website for sale. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what I'm working on next. My life is such a challenge. All right, let me lift this guy up, get him out of here. Not that one. Let's see. Panel. I don't know. Well, I needed to do a flower. So maybe I'll do a flower. Let's see. No. I'll do a flower. Start trying to paint this Beowulf floor. Sunflower could work. I have a couple things that I could do, but I really need to get them sealed with what is it called? I need to seal them with gesso before I start painting them. So I'm gonna leave that alone for a minute. Maybe this guy. Oh, I know what I need to work on. Jeez. I'll be seeing my friend before too long, and if I don't finish this before I get over there, I won't be able to give it to him. So let's see if we can actually find it. It was somewhere over here. As I said, my organizational skills continue to improve with age every single year. I'm way worse at it. My bad organizational skills continue to get worse. So I'm gonna say is an improvement. Okay, I'll have to adjust this camera a bit here. All right, so I think I was calling this one Smart Bomb. Painting of a little kid in the Mojave Desert. It's just got a bunch of. It's dry now, which is good. Just got some Joshua trees. Got a moon. There's a smart bomb that he's come across. And then my friend Jeremy Wilson wrote this really cool story called, I'm gonna probably get it wrong. I'm pretty sure it was called The Ball. It was just this, just a great story about a guy. When you explain a short story, generally you oversimplify it unless it's not any good. But in short, it was a story about a guy living in wartime. He wasn't in the military, but he was still living in a country that was at war. He found this ball one morning, and then there's more and more of them started showing up. It was fantastic. Okay, so now basically that I have this here, I think all I'm really going to be working on is trying to find ways to make stuff stand out. So previously the process that you guys witnessed was me making things darker with Payne's Gray, so I hope you're ready for more of this sweet, sweet Payne's Gray glazing, I guess. Yeah. While I'm doing this one, I think I'm going to start listening to some tunes, so I will be talking a lot less, if at all. All right. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't know that doing any more sort of teeny tiny detail stuff is going to add anything to this. Quickly looking here, I'm seeing. Need to make sure this brush is clean before I go in here and try to quickly kind of shape that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe I could get some more purple or something in there. But, I'm not gonna. And the reason that I'm not going to, I'll blend this out just a bit here to make sure that I don't want this to be too flat. Bring this through a bit. Down here. I just don't, the only reason I'm doing that there is because I didn't want it to be, I wanted it to a little bit more. I wanted the shapes to be a little bit more interesting than that. Okay. It's fine. Yeah. Of course, I said I was going to be done, but now I'm just going to kind of come in here and get some brush strokes for just some light. I don't know what the... And then, yeah, these shrubs, I don't know if I need them, to be honest. I'm gonna try and use this just like old, messed up brush real quick and see if this helps me to pull out some, I don't know what these would be. They're not weeds, but just little bushes. Yeah. Basically just a very little small amount of texture here. Do not want to keep working on this forever. Now that I've backed up and I can look at this from a distance, yeah, I think there's no point in continuing to fool with this anymore. Give this to my buddy when I go visit him. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants with it. Burn it for all I care. But hopefully he'll at least get a laugh out of it. If not a laugh, then at least I can tell him, his story inspired me to do something with art, which I think is a pretty cool thing. I mean, if anybody illustrated a book that I wrote, or a story that I wrote or something, just because they were inspired by reading it, I'm sure I would be at least flattered enough to say thank you. But I'm going to clean these brushes. I'm going to get on with my life. All right, so thank you, everyone. I hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday. And I'll be back tomorrow working on Beowulf, probably finishing up the drawing, adding a couple swords into the Brecca and Beowulf swim contest. All right, take care. Later.